also had a couple of calls from concerned residents outside of Earlham. Apparently, on the Dallas County side, northwest of Earlham, where that railroad track spur is there's a new facility that's gonna be grinding turbine blades. They've already placed blades out there already.
Where is it?
Right by
Earlham?
Off Pitzer, right there on the border of Earlham and Dallas. So I've gotten calls from farmers and ranchers in the area, obviously concerned about the dust and potential contamination of groundwater. It is open, I'm being told it's grinding openly, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the blades are, cut up blades and stuff is already out there in the open, you can see it. I've reached out to the DNR, because the one farmer I talked to said when he called the DNR and asked for information, he was basically told, get a lawyer, they have a permit, and then hung up on him. I don't know if that's true or not. The folks at the DNR I talked to, they were a little surprised at that, but they are gonna get us copies of all the permits that were granted on that site, to find out exactly what it is, so I can read exactly what it's about. And I also talked to one of the county supervisors in Dallas County who was completely unaware of this, they had no idea. And the zoning department, they had no idea.
Of course not, it's fiberglass.
Yeah, so, the resins on turbine blades are toxic. They also when I talked to supervisor, I warned them about the issue with their landfill. So I told them what we did regarding our ordinance and how we prohibited any kind of turbine refuse in our landfill. So she was gonna research it, find out. I read their Dallas County ordinance. I did get confirmation that the site is zoned industrial, which gives them a little bit more freedom, probably because it's along the railroad tracks. However, in their ordinance, unless they changed it, and the current one isn't up on the website, it's permissive. So in other words, you're allowed to do certain things, but if it's not on the list of allowances, you can't do it. Well, turbine blade recycling obviously is not on the list because that ordinance was probably written in 1965. So I've reached out to them, and so that's where we're at right now. So because even though it's on the Dallas County side, it's gonna affect residents on our side. So this is something I think we need to, maybe as a board, be aware of and spread concern about that.
We could put that in our ordinances, can't we?
We can't put anything in our ordinances to Dallas County.
Oh, I mean, to protect ours, well, yeah,
It's still Dallas County.
Yeah.
So our ordinance are protective on, you cannot store, you cannot recycle, you cannot use the landfill, anything on our side, but there's not a lot we can do on the Dallas. We encountered this the last time they tried to do it in Earlham, on northeast of the city, and they were able to they eventually got the blades removed off of that, I think because of the public outcry in the surrounding homes. Obviously this is closer to farms, so there's not as many homes, but it could affect livestock, it could affect crop, depending on what eventually gets in the air over there, so.
When we wrote the policy for the landfill, we named every hub, nut, and screw of those turbines because they're just not, they don't decompose.
Since you sit on the board, would you mind reaching out to the landfill in Dallas County and let them know?
Oh, but what we did?
What you guys did, and maybe send them the documentation and recommendation, because, if they bring because they can't bring the parts to us, because they're on the Dallas County side, which means any kind of refuse they have left over that can't be recycled, they are gonna send to the Dallas County landfill.
And if they bring them to us, and I think we'll prosecute them, because we just spent $2.2 million on a new cell, and we can't have that stuff in there.
So if you would reach out, since you're on the board, to a fellow board member on the Dallas County landfill, let them know what's going on, so they can start putting policies in place to protect themselves. That would be great.
So this is on their side off the Pitzer Road?
Yeah, it's right there by the railroad track spur. So once you go over the railroad tracks on Pitzer, it's on the west side there, and that's Dallas.
And they're grinding the blades there.
I'm told they're started grinding. When I looked, I didn't
Probably better
see
go
it.
figure that out.
But the blades are already there. They're already dismantled, they're cut up, there's refuse, there's shards, there's already stuff going on, so. The DNR said that they went out there and looked, and they said they were compliant, but I don't know what they're compliant with, so that's why I asked for a copy. beautifully. Either way, we have residents in our county that are very deeply concerned, about, one of the residents, the wife has, some bronchial and some other medical issues. He's concerned about it affecting her, so,
What are they gonna do if it gets really windy? Are they just putting them in a pile, or are they contained in a building?
I have no
I'll
idea.
have to
Right now, they're not
research
contained in
this.
the building, they're out in the open. Everything's out in the open. If you drive by there right now, you'll see it.